What's up, y'all? Welcome to the live show. Welcome to the live show. Yeah. The live show. Yeah. The live show. Da-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom, boom. Da-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom, boom. The live show. Damn, we getting some dunk. Market ready for a correction soon. Thank you, boys. Thoughts on J&J? I seen the Twitter gang. 1,000%. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm 1,000% sure that this is gonna go for 1,000%. We gonna talk about it in here? Probably not. You know, we gotta follow. We gotta obey the rules of the Twitter, and you know, we gotta hit the milestone on there. But if we hit it on there, I'll share it. But let's make sure we run up the likes on here. Let's at least get to 2K likes before we really get started. This should be a very interesting live stream, okay? A very interesting one that I'm actually excited to be able to share with you all. All right. I'm actually excited to be able to get to share with you all. There should be some interesting things to cover on here. Mainly because, what are we going to look at today? We're going to see. We're gonna see. J&J, bro, watching Dixie. What the heck is Dixie? What the heck is Dixie? Let's at least get the 2K likes before we really get started. Crypto or stocks? This is mainly stocks, bro. Mainly stocks, but you know we look at some crypto every once in a while. OKTA, very excited about that one, man. Very, very excited. Now, if the market ends up correcting a bit, we'll have to see. You know, it is stuck in this consolidation range, but that's why we can average down. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, the main thing I want to talk about, bro, more bad news for Tessie. That's why I don't mess with Tesla. Tesla, where you want it now? I want to do that too. 21. Let me see, man. Man, I think Tesla, man, I love it in this area. The 214, 221 area, man. I think if you get some long term, you'll be straight. I did not say Tesla 221 or Tesla. Let me see. I love Tesla right here at 221. This is my favorite spot. The 221 to 220. Man, come on, man. And the thing is, if you're trying to buy some contracts that expire next week, then yeah, you up for no good. But if you're trying to buy like some May, June calls, come on now. Scare money don't make no money. This is where I would love to buy some Tesla. But anyways, let's get started in the live stream. The first thing that I want to pay attention to is the Qs. All right, we got to make sure we know what the Qs is up to. And make no mistake, okay? Make no mistake. What you're seeing right now is the Qs at all-time highs. Do not for a second think this is the top of the market. Now, what we could get is a brief correction. We could get some consolidation, etc. But the main level that you need to be paying attention to is for when it starts breaking above this 410 and starts holding, okay? The reason I always say this level is very, very important is because it's in that head and shoulders. And what I always tell you guys about stocks that break out from its left shoulder, it always touches the head, okay? So once this starts breaking above 410, you can almost guarantee that this is going to get to 415 plus, and that'll kick off a very, very bullish time period. Okay, now we already know the measure move of the Qs. I just like giving the bigger time frames because, to be honest, I don't care what's happening tomorrow. I really don't. What's happening tomorrow is an intraday time frame type of thing. You want to take it on a day-by-day basis, an hour-by-hour basis, and go from there. But on a bigger time frame, we can clearly see that this is ready to get to 446, 445, and that's the measure move that I have for it. Okay, now when maybe February, March. I mean, we could look at like the dollar. We can look at the dollar as well. And the dollar is breaking out. Remember I was telling you guys, you want to make sure this doesn't end up going up. You want to make sure this was the rejection point, and that's where we're teetering around. Now you want to see if it's going to sweep. Is it going to sweep and then head back down? That's what we have to be paying attention to as well. But right now, it looks like it's breaking out. It looks like it's breaking out, although it's at a rejection point. So these are just a few things that I'm coming into tomorrow paying attention to. I want to see if the dollar is going to continue to go up, because some of you guys know that the dollar is a very important indicator that often tells you, is the market going to continue to rally? Is the market going to continue to correct for a little bit, etc.? Because as you remember from it called the October top, or the October bottom in the Qs, the dollar top right here, and then we had that huge run from October all the way up until late December, and now you're getting some sort of correction inside the markets. And guess what the dollar doing? It's bouncing. It's out of bounce area regardless. Okay, so the main thing I want to pay attention to is to see what the dollar does right here, and hopefully we get something for tomorrow. Obviously you see futures dumping a little bit, but come on, this is not really a dump. This could recover by tomorrow morning, right? You guys know that, right? This can recover by tomorrow morning, because all we've been doing right here is sitting here consolidating regardless. Like, look what's been happening. It's just been sitting here consolidating. So if we truly want to see some sort of correction, we need to start breaking below 16,885, 50 on the Nasdaq, and hopefully we see. Let's see, where could we potentially see on the Nasdaq? And we could potentially see down back in this buying area. But make no mistake, okay? The main thing that I want to focus on coming into the rest, Q1, the rest of Q1 and Q2, is the knowing that the market is bullish and trying to find out the best spots to be getting into these leaps on certain stocks. That's the main thing that I want to pay attention to. Why? Because I know the market's not done going up. I know it. So now it's just about finding good opportunities, good stocks that could potentially have the highest reward, because we know the market's going up, right? And that's what we've been doing all year. That's how we've been making a lot of money. And I don't plan on this stop. So I'm watching if the Nasdaq does continue to retrace below 16,885. Of course, it's going to get to 16,700, and then once it gets right here, this is going to be a very interesting spot. Okay, but make no mistake, like, it's down 37.37%. Who cares? Okay, who cares? That doesn't mean we're dumping. That doesn't mean, who cares? That's little. That's very little, very little. Okay. But anyways, put in the comments what individual stocks you guys want to look at. We looked at the dollar, we looked at the Nasdaq. I want to focus on individual stocks, and I particularly want to focus on some of these Bitcoin mining stocks. Okay, put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at though. We got AI, Mara, Google, IWM, Tesla, SE. Don't worry, we will be taking a peek at every single one of those. I'm putting in the comments what you really want to see, because I'm going to see what people post the most of, and then we'll look at those first. Alright, so I'm seeing some Mara, some Coin, and MSTR, and I absolutely love that. Why? Because I'm excited about those too. I'm excited about the Bitcoin mining stocks, because if you think Bitcoin is done, if you think the mining stocks is done, you're a fool. You're a fool. And that's where a lot of the opportunity lies right now, in these Mara stocks, and these BTBT stocks, and SLSK stocks. I'm trying to put you guys on right now. If you missed the first run up, and you caught the late end because you don't follow the right people, then not only do you need to follow the right people heading into this next run that we might have. I'm not gonna say it's a certainty, but this spot right here on SLSK, which is a Bitcoin mining company, is one that I absolutely love. Okay, I absolutely love it right here. This is the buying area for SLSK. Okay. This is the buying area right here. Some of you guys want to buy at the tippity top. You want to try to get in up here. Meanwhile, we're buying down here, waiting for it to run up. Sold to you up here. Now we're looking to get back in on this level right here. This is a level that I'm paying attention to a whole lot on something like SLSK. It's literally, man, it literally did this exact same thing. Some of you guys remember back in 2020. Let me show you, man. It literally did this exact same thing. You look at what it did back here. This is in 2020. It ran all the way up to $13, $14, and then dumped all the way back to $8, and then finally had its real run. Now, is it going to be exactly like that? We'll have to see. But I do know that this level right here is one that if you missed it, you should be trying to get in on this level. You should 130%. CLSK, my bad. You should 130% be trying to look at CLSK right here. Like this is actually, man, come on, man. This is probably one of the stocks that I'm excited about getting into a long-term swing on. A swing on in general. This is one that's very important because I think you can make a whole lot of money. The contracts aren't even really priced in, and to be honest, you should be hoping. And to be honest, you should be hoping that this stock goes down a bit more, maybe to $7.43. But if you're looking to get some June, July calls anyways, there's no rush. There's no rush. You can get the $15 June calls and sit on them perfectly fine. This is one that I'm very excited about. BT as well. Okay, you guys know I love BT. These are called, and we already went up like 400, 500% on BT. I think this is another good buying area, especially if you miss when we're calling it right here at this $2 range. So heading into tomorrow and heading into next week, you guys will see me talking a whole lot about these Bitcoin mining stocks and even trying to enter into some. If you're in the Discord, don't worry. I will be positioning you guys into some Bitcoin mining stocks. I think it's time. You know, I think it's time. You got the good dump. You got people thinking Bitcoin might not do what it should be doing. When really this is all accumulation, man. What do you think's gonna happen? This is gonna man, come on, man. It's going to 100K. But again, that's what I'm paying attention to heading into next week and the rest of this month really is some Bitcoin mining stocks. But anyways, let's move on to Coinbase as well. Coinbase is another one that I think is particularly good as well. Okay, we're just getting, like, some of you guys forget, man. And I understand why you might forget because you think the rally will just continue to go up and go up and go up. But no, if you were smart enough to be getting in right here, over here, when we were talking about Coinbase at $101, literally called it, made a whole bunch of money. And now it's at 185. Like, it was literally an $80 discrepancy between when we called it, when we were getting in, and then when everybody wanted to get in. And now it's pulling back. And people are losing money because you're trying to buy at the top. Why are you trying to buy up here? And now it's pulling back, and all of a sudden you're scared. Now all of a sudden you're scared when man, I'm excited about Coinbase as well. I think it maybe comes down a bit more, maybe the 127, 126 area. But other than that, I like it. I really like Coinbase. Maybe even like we could sit here and drop the Fibonacci's, and you know it may come down to 115, 116. I wouldn't really be surprised. But if you're looking to get leaps on it, regardless, like, this is a good time. All right, very good time. So Bitcoin mining stocks, I think, are absolutely amazing right now. You got Mara dumping 15%, and if you guys went on Twitter, and the thing is, and why this had to happen, why we had all these dumps, is because if you go on any other place, you see all these people talking about this stuff is very, very bullish. Are you kidding me? We're in a new bull market. We're this, we're that, we're that. Up here. So guess what's going to happen? All their followers are going to hop in. They're going to start buying calls up here. They're going to start going crazy. They're going to start buying weeklies 2 weeks out up here and get smacked. Why? Because we were buying down here. Okay, this is where you really wanted to be buying, down here. Knicks went up 2,000% on some Mar calls from this entire run, and now people started paying attention to it because guess what? It was running. It was going crazy. People were making money. So those are the main things you need to focus on inside of bull runs and these massive pumps. Is good times to buy. A lot of you guys want to focus on times that a lot of you guys literally just focus on when there's green candles and when the market is super bullish. Some of you guys disappear when you see this. When you see 15%, you disappear. When it's down 15%, the market's red, the futures are red, you disappear. You go missing in action. Maybe because you didn't take profit. Whatever it is, you got to learn, and don't take any L that you may take. It's just a lesson, okay? The market's going to be open literally every single day that you're going to be alive. Okay? It's going to be open a lot. So be patient on a lot of this stuff, and stop trying to chase. Like, so I would never understand why somebody would enter into some long-term leaps up here. Why do you think the Discord and call-outs were so quiet, and these long-term holds were so quiet for a while? Why do you think? Why do you think? Why do you think nothing was really like nothing was? There was day trades being called out, but there was really no swings or long-term holds being called out. Why? You got to really ask yourself that sometime. But anyways, let's move on. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at, and we'll continue to look at some stocks, man. But also like the live stream, because I'm doing this all for free. The most accurate live stream on TikTok, and that's just a fact. Like, I've been going live for like a year, maybe 2 years, but this past year has literally been the most accurate live stream ever. All right, literally. So that's why you want to make sure you're paying attention, because what we review on here. Now, I'm not gonna say everything's 100%, but 80 to 85% of the time, man, this stuff's spot on. This stuff's spot on. So we're gonna look at Tesla. We got a lot of people asking about Tesla and BA, and now that Tesla actually has negative news, what do you think's gonna happen? And like I said, this is why I didn't mess with Tesla. This is why I was telling you guys, if you're gonna mess with Tesla, at least try to get some equity or dollar cost average into some leaps. Because what's gonna happen if you're trying to get these 2 week out calls, or these 1 week out calls, or these 3 week out calls, is you're gonna get chopped, or you're gonna get dumped on. One of the two. Why? Because there's too many people watching it, man. There's people that need to lose money on this stock. There's people that need to not mess with this stock anymore. There's people that need to blow their accounts because the market was too irrational. It was too irrational. Like, I know, come on, man. I know some of you guys went on Twitter and you saw Tesla is 1,000% gonna break out from right here. It's not even a win. I mean, it's not even if, it's a win. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew you should not be looking at Tesla right now. But now that Tesla actually does have some negative news, and maybe people are kind of scared to start getting into it, maybe now is the time. And you guys remember me coming on here talking about 221 was the entry that I'm paying attention to, and it still is. I still love Tesla at 221. I think if you get some leaps around 221, you should be good. You should be good. Now, if you're not, hey, man, it is what it is. But this is the time where, to me, the risk to reward is there. The risk to reward is 100% there. This thing's still consolidating inside of a bull flag, right? Now that it has that negative news, you got people coming in here saying, oh, what's Tesla going to do with the news? What's BA going to do with the news? And to be honest, it's always sell the news, or it's always buy the rumor, sell the news. So now that the news is out, the people that were selling already knew. A lot of you guys forget, man. You get a lot of this stuff late, okay? You get a lot of this stuff late. Like what Elon was saying with the 25%, people, come on, man. A lot of people already knew. But this is a good entry in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. I think there's a lot of other stocks to pay attention to. But inside of this area right here, like, I could just come over here and circle all the areas where this has been a very bounceable spot for it. Like right here where you had that humongous bounce and went crazy. Right here where it had that humongous bounce and went crazy. Right here where it actually didn't get that bounce and started falling down to make that low to $112, $100, right? And then even right here where it rejected, and then right here when it broke out, and right here. So this level is very, like that 215 to 221 area, that's where you wanted to be buying, and that's where I was telling you where you should be patient enough to wait for it at. So now that it's there, yeah, I would pull the trigger on some Tesla calls if I like Tesla, and the person asking about Tesla asking if I would enter, or yeah, I would enter right here. But will I? No, I don't like Tesla that much to be messing with it for leaps or for option contracts. I don't feel like spending $1,000 to get 5 month out 230 calls. Pass. Too expensive for me, out of my budget. But anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. We already looked at Tesla. I can't believe somebody just asked about coin. We already looked at coin. SPY. Let's look at PLTR. We haven't looked at PLTR in a minute. Let's look at PLTR. For some reason, I had this bullish megaphone marked up. I'm not sure why, but this looks like what it's gonna do. We may have looked at this a while ago, and I might have said this is where you want to be buying at. So PLTR is in great risk to reward, in my opinion. It was even in great risk to reward when it was right here. So it really just swept that and then came down to the real support that you see right here. And this could be a bullish megaphone that could play out to potentially $25. If I was looking at PLTR, I'd 100% be looking at it right here. Two reasons. Because this was a stock that wasn't rallying back in November and December when a lot of other stocks were rallying. Why? Probably because a lot of people were paying attention to it. Probably because a lot of people really wanted PLTR to go up. So now what had to happen was people had to lose their money, right? People had to lose their money. And now that nobody's really paying attention to it, it's probably about to complete this bullish megaphone. I really like PLTR right here, and to be honest, this is probably one of my favorite ones that we've seen on this stream so far. Great risk to reward. You can easily, let me delete this real quick. But like I said, this is a bullish megaphone. This is the main pattern that I'm paying attention to. But I want to get a clearer look on it. And even if we pay attention to it on a monthly time frame, like it's literally just, there's no reason to be bearish on this really until it can go below $14, and that's $2 away. I love it. I love it right here because you can get some $20 June calls and have great risk to reward on it. Great risk to reward versus trying to buy up here, you know, buy like no, you don't buy. Like some of you guys are like, man, PLTR about to break out right here. It's about to go to $50. Meanwhile, you're trying to buy a breakout and there's smart people buying down here. So now that it's back down here, it's making higher lows. Like look, higher lows. It's not making lower lows. It's been making higher lows for an entire year. So I really like right here. I think it's sitting in a nice bullish megaphone. This is where I'd be paying attention to that. And a lot of people might think this is even a bear flag, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you might lose some money think this is a bear flag. We'll have to see. You might lose some money think this is a bear flag. All right. Doesn't look like one to me. Doesn't look like one to me, because I'm looking at the bigger time frames, and the bigger time frames are telling me that this looks like a bullish megaphone. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And once it does start breaking out and does start going crazy, not only do you want to come back to this live show and be like, hey, yo, you said so, you told me, bro, but also you want to make sure once it starts breaking above 1840, that's the level that is really going to start taking off at. All right. Why? Because it's going to break above that left shoulder that I always tell you guys about. Right. And look, this time it rejected right here, came all the way back down to the trend line, and now it's going to try again. And when it does break out of there, it's going to end up going to that $25 range that we're talking about. So I like PLTR right here. Whoever said that one, shout out to you. Best one we've seen today. I mean, really only looked at like 3 stocks, but this PLTR looks good. All right, put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. Like the live stream. Like the live stream, man. Like the live show. Come on here every Sunday. Today's Monday. And I give you guys the best information, man. Juan did. God did. Stop playing. Stop playing. Somebody said overall profit this month. Hey man, I'm up rackies. You gotta be in the Discord if you want to see how much how much I'm making. That's a perk that I give to the Discord, man. I don't, you guys in the Discord, I'll show you what I made that day. I'll show you what I entered in, if I lost money, if I made money. That's a perk for the Discord. Let's look at AI though. Let's look at AI, and to be honest, this is very ugly. I'm gonna tell you what. While we do know AI is uptrending, this isn't a stock that I particularly even want to look at. It's really ugly. Like you look at it, there's nothing really going for it. Matter of fact, it's been consolidating and sitting here, not giving you really much, pumping you up, pumping you down, doing whatever. So this is a stock to where is not interesting. It's one that you probably want to stay away from until it actually starts rallying and giving you a trend. This is not trending. It's not trending, and by trending I mean, okay, it's starting to do something like this, like it's at least hanging above the 21 EMA. Right here is where you don't really want to pay too much attention to it because it's just chopping. It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. And what I really want to make sure, and if you're bullish on it, you really want to make sure that this doesn't end up being a H. You really want to make sure it doesn't end up being a H, and to be honest, it might just do something like that. So if I'm looking at AI, which I'm not, I'd only start being bullish. I wouldn't even try to get into any calls until this can really start trading, maybe like risky above $30. If you don't want to be that risky, you got to wait for at least 32, because that's where it's been wicking a whole lot. You know, 31.44 to be exact. That's where it's been wicking a lot, and even had the fake breakout right here and wicking a lot. But other than that, I would fully anticipate this to be bearish. I wouldn't even try to get into any calls for this. I wouldn't. Until this can get above 29.30, really 31.44. But until then, this is a bearish H. Let me show you guys what a bearish H is. And I actually seen a lot of bearish H's play. And I've actually seen some memes, or not some memes, some ads. I just call they ads some memes. Some ads on AI. I've seen some ads on AI, man. You know, they're getting their marketing up. They may be able to do a little something, but you know, that's not it. Let me see if I can find it, man. I want to give you guys some education while I'm here. Maybe I just made it up. Maybe it's a pattern I made up. No, I'm just kidding. It couldn't be. Couldn't be. I know what a bearish H is. But yeah, I guess it's not popping up, but this is kind of what I mean right here. Where it has, you know, it has that long thing, and then right here, kind of looks like that. Long thing, and then, you know, right here. So could come down to support at $23, and if it breaks below $23, you should fully anticipate this to, let me see. Yeah, it's not even in the buying, it's rejecting the buying area. Like, this is garbage. This is garbage. If you're trying to get calls for this, wait until $32. Anyways, move on. Is your connection freezing, or is it just me? It's probably just you. It's probably just you. What about Dogecoin? Bro, Dogecoin will most likely go up, but we're not going to look at crypto right now. Poor connections are just me. Meta. Let's look at Meta. It's probably just you, bro. It's probably just you. Yeah, Meta's going crazy. And the thing is, you don't want to pay attention to Meta now. Like, I know a lot of you guys, man. A lot of you guys be like, yo, Meta going stupid. Where do I get in it? Look, man, you missed it, bro. Unless you're trying to day trade it or you know, scalp it a little bit or try to get the crumbs, you really missed the bigger pie. You didn't get the bigger pie. Now you're about to get the crumbs. Now you're going to get the people who trying to sell to you and sell their 1,000% contracts to you. So what I recommend is I wouldn't even try to mess with it anymore. It left the station. Definitely wouldn't try to get calls on it. You had so many opportunities to try to get calls on it when it retested the breakout right here. When it came down and literally broke. When it came down right here and broke above the head and shoulders that you see right here. This was the head and shoulders I always tell you guys about. Left shoulder, right shoulder, and then you had the head, and it broke above the right shoulder. And what did it do? It took out the head. So you missed you missed Meta. Almost slipped. You missed Meta, but I'll tell you a better one. I'll tell you a better one right now. It's Netflix. And if you're in the Discord, you know how much we did. You know we did Netflix crazy. You know we did Netflix crazy. This is a call that was called out, I think, Wednesday. Watching Netflix calls. This was Wednesday. Netflix gave you the reason, and Netflix went up over 185% the next day. So Netflix is one that looks exactly like Meta, but Netflix has not taken off yet. Netflix has not taken off yet. It's one that has broken above It's left shoulder, like you see right here. A few left shoulders. Got left shoulder right here. Head, right shoulder. It is now broke above it. And what did it do? It came to retest the head. And I don't think it's done at all. Matter of fact, this is one that I'm still coming into next week looking at. It looks exactly like Meta. Like I actually want to draw up a comparison really quick. My son. It looks exactly like Meta. He said, "Can you do VAC before you have dinner?" So look at this one. Look at Netflix, and then look at Meta. Right? Look at Netflix, and then look at Meta. You have the left shoulder. You have the left shoulder. You have the head. You have the head right here. And now you have Netflix sitting right here looking to do something like that. So when I tell you guys you want to look for the more undervalued opportunities, Netflix is one of those, okay? So instead of looking at Meta, I would rather look at Netflix because Netflix will go back to, all-time highs. It will. Got to give it some time. But eventually, to me, it looks like it's ready to get back to 600. So that's what I'd be paying attention to instead of Meta. You asked about Meta. I gave you an even better one. Anyways, let's move on. Loading long-dated VIX calls slowly. Interesting. Interesting, man. Interesting. Me personally, I would never. Actually, VIX is sitting in a buy area. Like this is, well, yeah, it's sitting in a nice area for sure. Like this is usually where the market actually gets some sort of correction at, like this area. Like you can look at it historically. Look how long this, like since 2007. Like it normally always bounces at this $11-12 range, and that's actually interesting. So I think I don't think it's a bad play. I don't think it's a bad play at all. Even has some bull divergence on December 14th, and yeah, this is good. Anyways, move on. Market bearish. Short term probably. Short term probably. But let's look at Apple. Apple was one where I was literally begging you guys to get in on this buy area at 179, 180. That was literally the perfect buying area. It bounced up super hard from there. And now if you're looking at it, to me, you want to make sure this can stay above. You want to make sure this can stay above 185. And to be honest, it might open below that. So as long as this thing is sitting in the head and shoulders that we talk a lot about, okay? This is still right shoulder. It hasn't clearly broke out from the right shoulder yet. So what could happen is it comes back down to 183, and then you have to wait for it to get back above 186. But that's something that I'm paying attention to for Apple. I'm not looking to buy calls up here just yet. I want it to come back down to 183, and then once it gets to 183, it'll have so much confluence right there that is not even funny. It literally be begging you to buy again, and that's where I think you should wait to get some Apple calls if you're looking for calls. Now, if you're looking for puts, do your thing. I like mainly looking at calls. We know what kind of market we're in. We know we just got to find good buying areas. For Apple, if you're looking to get into Apple, at least wait for it to go back above 186.15 at least, and then maybe you can get some scalp calls. But I'm looking for 183. That's where I would love to get some Apple. Okay. Yeah, that's where I would love to get some Apple. Now, what you got to realize, come on now. Come on, man. This is going to 200. If we're looking at the bigger picture, we know this is going to 200. It's just sitting in a flag. Huge flag, humongous flag. It's going to 220, 217. All right. But on the trip, on the detour, is where are the best buying areas. Now, we begged you to buy at 167, went all the way up here. We begged you to buy again at 180. Now it's bouncing again, and it may be, it's looking very good. It's looking very good, and to be honest, it even has some hidden bullish divergence. It even has some hidden bullish divergence on a daily time frame. Okay, now that could potentially have already played out, but it was there, and there's double confluence there. Okay, so you're getting that lower low and you're getting this higher low, so you gotta love Apple. You gotta love Apple. Me personally, I'm gonna wait for it to get to 183, especially if you missed that 180 bounce. That was just a clear as day bounce that you could have got into. But now, if you missed that, man, you wait for the 183. CrowdStrike. Man, we've been telling you guys about CrowdStrike since it was a baby, since it was 140. Yes, CrowdStrike's getting the all-time highs. This week, I don't know. But come on now. You think it's going to stop right here, double top and go down? No, it's going to get to all-time highs. The measure move is to 372. Okay, so we've been talking about Crowd. I don't really want to look at it because, you know, we were buyers at 141, 150, 170, and now that it's way up here, you know, we've been through that. It's time to move on. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at, and we'll look at them. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at, and we will look at them. We looked at the dollar. Let's look at IWM. We haven't took a peek at IWM yet. We got somebody asking about it. Let's take a look at it. Now, what you got to realize is that look, man. This is why you got to pick your spots very carefully, because now what you have is people now know we're very bullish. Okay? People know we're bullish now. People know the market is most likely going to continue to go up. So now what you got to do is making sure you're not following the sheep, you're picking your spots correctly, and you're not just buying to buy. Okay, that's what I see is happening to IWM as of late. That's why you see all this consolidation. It's not letting really anybody make big amounts of money, kind of like what you saw down here. You know, we were in TNA going stupid, like contracts up 1,000%, 2,000 and 30,000, literally. So now what you're seeing is a brief cool down. You best believe this is going to go to all-time highs. But you want to make sure you pick your spots carefully. And to be honest, what I see on the weekly, this is a reversal candle. This is a morning star candle. Now, we got to see how this week closes, especially I think this week for IWM, which is small caps, is a very important week for it. But if you look at, like, this is a morning star candle. Like, I like teaching on here. Let me show you guys something. We've been doing this candle for a while now. All right. Morning star candle, doji, whatever you want to call it, man, whatever. But it looks something like this. Okay, it looks something like this, and what you normally should get is a big old green candle. You should get that. You should. But again, we'll have to see. We got to see, especially how this week closes. I think this is an important week. Monday, there is no Monday, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's 4 days for something like that to play out. I think that's going to be very interesting. But other than that, I mean, if you look at bigger time frames, come on now. The only way you can mess up something like this, the only way I start being bearish on something like IWM is if you start getting monthly closes back below 191. So IWM is a longer term stock that you want to be paying attention to, a longer term ETF, sorry, that you want to be paying attention to, because if it starts closing below 191 on a monthly time frame, then you know that, okay, it might just come back down to retest 181, which wouldn't make that, like, that wouldn't be that crazy, because like I said, there's people that now know the market is bullish. So how do you wash them out? How do you wash out the majority of the market? You start dumping the market. How do you turn people from bulls to bears? You start dumping the market. So you could potentially see this at 181 if you get a monthly close below 190, 191. And that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. You want to make sure you're paying attention to that weekly too, because this is a morning star candle. Like I said, morning stars usually have a big old green candle just right after. So that's what I'll be paying attention to. And again, like, if you're smart about it and you actually know what you're doing and you want to make some easy money, some fat, like, you would go to something like TNA. You would literally go to something like TNA, where it's very cheap for you to get some June $45 calls, and you just buy them. Your dollar cost average in, you buy them all the way up until March, and then you just sit back and then all of a sudden the market starts shooting up. You don't really have to do too much work when you're dollar cost averaging into something that you, now of course you got to have some courage, but doesn't all this take courage? Wouldn't you rather do something, wouldn't you rather have your contract play out instead of you instantly mess it? Like some of you guys start trading weekly contracts and all of a sudden you down 2K. You blew the whole account in 1 week. Versus, why wouldn't you just buy some June calls, 2K, put 2K in them, and then you wake up in 3 months and oh shoot, you made 20K. Some of you guys don't get that, man. I'm really trying to put you on game. And even on the weekly, this is a Morningstar formation too. So like I said, I mean, we should get some big green candles. We should. We'll have to see though, right? We'll have to see. But I don't want to hold you guys up for too much longer tonight. We'll probably look at one more stock. Well, a couple more stock. We'll see. We'll look at a couple more. Bank of America, bloody. Now if the RSI is that high, you don't pay too much attention to RSIs being too high inside of bull markets, okay? That'll get you tricked out every single time. That'll do you dirty every single time, okay? I mean, you look at something like Nvidia. Sure, the RSI has been above 70 since literally for an entire year. And if you know technicals, you know above 70, it's technically right. The book says you should sell. The book says if it's above 70, you don't want to buy above 70. Meanwhile, Nvidia has been above 70 since last year in January. And if you remember what happened last year in January, this is a stock that was at 154 and that's at 547. So don't pay too much attention to RSI, especially inside of bull markets. Like that'll get you killed every time. But I do like the divergences. You can always use the divergences, which are to me better. But using the RSI and thinking it's too high inside of a bull market, that'll get you killed every single time. OKTA, nothing's happening to it. It's just accumulating right now. It's sitting there consolidating. I really like it. Okay, that's all you got to know. I really like it. I think it has potential to do a lot of great things. It's a cybersecurity as well. Somebody was asking about CrowdStrike. This is CrowdStrike's cousin. This is CrowdStrike's little cousin. It's little cousin. All right. So if you like CrowdStrike, you gotta love Crowd. This thing is just waiting. It's just waiting for small caps and the market to start taking off, for bulls to start turning into bears, and to get some people out the market, to shake some people out the market, and then it's ready to take off. But I do want to look at the fear and greed index, which is sitting at 71, okay, which is really nothing. Some of you guys remember 2021, that's really nothing. And then you got the put and call sitting at 0.82. So that means that there's still some greed inside the market, etc. Will this start taking off? We'll have to see. But if you're bullish, you want this to really start going up. Now, unless you got some short-term options, like you got some 2 week out calls, and yeah, you don't want this. You want this to go down. You want this, man. Yeah, that's why I tell you guys, you want to make sure you're buying. Make sure you're buying time. But those are two things I'm paying attention to. Dang, how you gonna call out 10 stocks? Let's look at net. You gonna call out 10 stocks? Make me look at all 10 of them, huh? Look at this, man. Look at what we call. I don't know when I called this. Now I know for certain we don't look at net that much for me to even, drop. Like, man, come on, man. How did I do it this perfect? This is crazy. We knew it was gonna come down here and then blast off. So OKTA, nothing's changed. I don't know when I put this up here. But this is why I'm telling you guys, this is probably one of the most accurate live streams on TikTok, to where I don't look at net too much. But I know for certain I haven't looked at it in the past 2 months. So whenever I put this, is most likely down here and not sitting up here. And net, in my opinion, will continue to go up. I believe this is not a cybersecurity, but like a security type of stock, and I like it. I think it's going to continue to go up. All it needs is the market to start, taking off. Okay, that's all it needs. Hey, what do you think about SPY put tomorrow? I think it could be decent, man. You have to see. I don't like giving predictions of what's going to happen tomorrow because I don't know. Nobody knows. But anyways, I hope you guys are inside of the Discord. The best community ever. The link is in the bio. Okay. The link is in the bio. We come on there. We give you free watch list. Like you could literally go to the watch list and see what we're watching for that day. All right. The link is in the bio. We even got some sports betting. Philadelphia 76ers. Man, come on, man. We printing on here. I mean, it's been a long weekend. That's why you seen all the sports bets, man. That's why you seen all the sports bets. It's been a long weekend, man. It's been a long weekend, but they've been making money with sports. That's for sure. God dang. Finally. 9,000 on some spot puts. Google, Lunar. Let's look at Google. If I'm looking at Google, I want to make sure it stays above 143. As long as it stays above 143, this thing is ready to just blast off and go crazy. But Google is this is one of the most undervalued blue chips, mega caps right now. This thing is 130% going to go to all-time highs. Now, am I going to be looking for calls if I'm not already in? No. No, not unless we can get a retracement probably back down to 141 or something. That's when I'll be interested in it again. But if you weren't getting into calls, on this run and the run's been happening, then, just stay out. But that's what I think. All right, bro. Come on, man. This is Bank of America. If I'm looking at Bank of America, it needs to break above one. It needs to break above $35, even this top that you have right here. Now, I think banks are very bullish. I don't think there's any reason to think banks aren't. But Bank of America looks like it follows IWM. And to be honest, it's sitting in a buy area. There's no reason I would even look to short this until it starts going below $32. So Bank of America actually looks really good right here. I know it dumped for earnings a little bit, but it recovered pretty quickly, and now it's even retesting some old demand or old supplies that you see right here. So I like it. I would only short it below $32. That's when it'll probably give you some, probably back down to 31, 30. But as long as it can stay above 32, you got to look to respect it. I don't look at penny stocks. You asked about Lunar. I don't look at penny stock. Let's look at TSM. TSM is one that I'm absolutely paying attention to. And I told you guys this. Nothing has changed. Like, what's been happening, like what I've noticed has been happening pretty much all of January for a lot of these small cap stocks and these mid cap stocks and these stocks that aren't, SPY and Meta and everything like that, is that they've been just consolidating. They haven't been giving you too much of anything. It hasn't been going in a straight line like this. Why? Because a lot of money was already made from all this. So what's going to happen? There's going to be some profit taken. There's going to be some people that want to get out, etc. So now what we got to pay attention to is when how can we position ourselves the best to be able to profit on something like TSM. And like I said, the best way to profit on something like TSM is just buy some June calls. Nothing has changed for this. It's staying above $100. It came down, retested it was literally in a buying area. Let me see. Yeah, this is literally in a buying area that it bounced from at $99. So I wouldn't even be bearish until it's below $99. Now it does have earnings. Let's look at earnings. I forgot. Q1 is here. We got to make sure we know what's happening with earnings. And then we'll look at what Kathy was buying. I think what Kathy was buying is very important too. You got to look at the earnings whisperer. See what you're talking about. All right, so we got bank earnings. We got Bank of America. Oh, wait. Yeah, U.S. Bank, TSM, JB Hunt. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Key Bank. Pinnacle. I think TSM is a very interesting one. TSM is a very, very interesting one. But other than that, I mean, next week is where you got some good stuff like Visa, Capital One. You got PayPal coming up. So nothing too crazy. Let's look at the economic calendar. You know, we gotta prepare for next week. We gotta see what's going on, man. We gotta make sure we know what's going on. Let's see. Fed, Christopher Waller. Nobody really care about him. Fed, Vice Chair, Barr speaks. Fed, Michelle Bowman. Industrial Fed. Oh, we got some Fed speaking, but nobody named Powell. Nobody named Jerome Powell. Consumer sentiment should be interesting. Existing home sales. Yeah. Nothing too crazy. Import index. U.S. retail sales, Fed. Yeah. Nothing too crazy. I don't think Powell comes on until like February. So. What else? Okay, let's look at what Kathy bought. Let's see what Kathy getting. She buying CRISPR. Man, what's she buying CRISPR for? She buying some CRISPR. She bought some Tesla. 93,000 shares is crazy. 18,000 shares. She's buying a lot of CRISPR. Selling Twilio. Unity. She's buying Unity. She's buying a whole lot of CRISPR. Unity, CRISPR. Let's look at CRISPR. Because some of you guys remember we got into CRISPR and made a whole lot of money. Could it be time again? Maybe. It's just consolidating right here. Maybe time. It might be. Nah, I don't really like it. Anyways. Alright. Make sure you guys are inside the Discord. The link is in the bio for everything. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I appreciate the people that stayed and watched. And hopefully I was able to provide some value to you guys. This is the Sunday live show, man. It's always a successful Sunday live show. It's always a good live show. Appreciate you guys. And I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out. Peace.